Hello everyone, my name is Shalja Mathur from the Somerset County Family and Community Health Sciences. We're going to be making some lentil crepes today. Welcome to Facebook Live. What I have here today, as I get started, I wanted to show you that I did soak my lentils a day in advance. It needs a few hours of soaking, and then I did grind it and get it ready. All that batter has is garlic. So for every cup of lentil, it's 2 cloves of garlic that I have used. And I do not add salt till I'm ready to make my crepes. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to turn my stove on, and I'm going to first put the lentil crepe to start cooking, and then we're going to talk about lentils and why we decided to do this. So tools are very important. You can see that I have this, what I use. Maybe this is a tool that you may use, you may have in your kitchen to make pancakes. And as my stove gets warm, I'm just going to put a cup of the batter in there. And then I kind of make it into a thin pancake that kind of covers the entire pan. You can use a non-stick pan or you can use a cast iron pan. I'm going to do both. So I wanted to show you this is how it looks on the pan. I am going to use a little bit of oil with a brush on the sides to allow it to cook. And because they are lentils, I cover it to allow it to cook. So I have my stove on medium heat because you want it to cook a little bit. I'll also put one on the cast iron. Normally I make 2 at a time. So I'm going to use both my pans and put 2 of them so they're cooking, and they may not cook during the time that we have this live because sometimes they take a little bit longer, but I have one that's made up and I will show you. But before I do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about lentils and what they are. So many of you must be already making lentil soup, and that's the most common lentil that you find in the supermarket, which we make Mediterranean soup from, which is the most popular thing that I've heard about lentils. But in the Indian pantry, we have several different kinds of lentils. So this is whole grain moong, and this is what I use to make my sprouted moong. And if you have tried Ezekiel bread, this is a grain or a lentil that they use to sprout it and then add it to the bread. Now, the lentil that I have used for my batter today is this. This is a split lentil of the moong, but without the skin. So this has much less fiber than that. And oftentimes I interchange. I would make my crepes either using this or the one that's a whole grain. Now this is split with the, it's with the cover. See, so this is like, it has the peels on it. So definitely this is also a good choice because it has higher content for fiber. Now this is what is called the black lentil. This is much richer in flavor, and the combination for making this spinach, this is with spinach and lots of garlic and ginger. So this is one that you can try. And many of you may have heard about this red lentil or pink lentil. So this lentil it cooks very, very quickly, and you can make it like a regular soup, or you can make it, you don't even need to pressure cook it or use an Instapot. You can just put it in a pan with whatever spices you want. It cooks in about like 10 minutes. So this is one of our quickest cooking lentils. And I want to see how this is doing on the stove. It's kind of cooking, but I don't think it will be done. I want to show you how it's cooking and it's changing color. So we're going to let it cook some more, but I'm going to talk about the combinations of what you can serve it with. So this is how it's going to look once it's made up. So this is like a lentil crepe that I made just so I could show it to you all. So this, it comes out like this, and what I am serving it with is almost like a kimchi. This is a homemade radish. If you use the watermelon radish. I've just kind of fermented some of this radish. It tastes really good. It's like a winter pickle that we make, and we can leave it in the fridge for a few weeks. The batter that you make can also stay in the refrigerator for at least a week. So you can make a big batch, which I did. And see, now that it's cooking, you can see that I'm going to try to turn it over while we're still talking, and I'm going to let it cook. And some of the other things that I serve it with is sometimes talking about the nutrition in lentils. In 1 cup of cooked lentil, you have almost 35 to 40 grams of carbs, but it is really high in fiber. So it would have about 15 grams of fiber and about 17 to 18 grams of protein. Now, it also has about 220 calories in 1 cup of lentil made like a soup. So, but the good part of, because of the high content of fiber, it has a very low glycemic index, which is why it is very good for blood sugar stability. Now, it is also rich in iron, folate, and calcium. And in order to turn this, you need the right kind of tool. So you can see, once it's cooked, it starts to leave its side just like a pancake. And I'm going to turn this over so that it cooks on the other side. And what I'm going to serve it with, I wanted to talk because you heard that it has carbs and proteins and all these minerals. But I try to serve it with some kind of vegetable. So I had some broccoli raw that I had made last night. And sometimes, because it has a very high carb content, I serve it with like baked tofu. So you can enjoy your crepe any way you want, even just like a crepe, just like it's a nice breakfast snack, or you can make it a meal with adding all these other things to make a balanced plate. So if I add my vegetables and with my radish pickle or my fermented pickle, I have almost half my plate with veggies. And then in order to add some more protein, I did the tofu. And then this is ready to be turned. So I'm going to just turn this over. If you see, this is what it looks like. And we're going to turn it over. And that's your crepe. It's ready. And I hope you have enjoyed. We'll see you next Friday for our next Facebook Live. We're also doing a workshop on herbs. So if you're interested, be sure to sign up. It's March 24th in the evening. So we look forward to seeing you. Thank you for joining us today.